Hi, hello, welcome to my channel Shankar Vlogs. So today we will discuss an important puzzle, and also it is a difficult puzzle. It is taken from Sudoku 10,000 by One Gravity LLC. This application is available in the Google Play Store. You can download it from there, and you can see the game. In this application game, there are many of the puzzles, so you can solve using using this application game many of the types of puzzles. So here we will discuss various of the techniques as we go through the puzzle. So okay, now we will see the important techniques, how this puzzle will be using, and from this puzzle we will discuss many of the important solving techniques of the Sudoku. So let us start. So in the block 1, you see we can where you can keep the number 6. Block 1, as you can see, 6 can be placed only in this third row and second column of the first block. So that is the solution. So again, now we will proceed to the next step. Now examine block 5. Now in the similar way, digit 2, you guess where it can be placed. Digit 2 in the block 5, where it can be placed. So as you can see, it can be placed in that position. Now we will go to next step. Now in the same way, examine block 6. In the same way, in the block 6, where 6 can be placed. As it is a hidden single, it can only be placed in that position. So it can be placed in that position. Now we will move for next step. In the same way, examine block 7. In the block 7, you see where 2 can be placed, where number 2 can be placed. So that is a position of the 2. Now we will go further. Now examine block 8. In the block 8, where 6 can be placed. As you can see, 6 can be placed only in one position, that is there. Now we will go for next step. Now examine block 5, where 6 can be placed. Six can be placed in the middle. So that is the position. Now we will go for next step. Now examine block 9. Now see for digit 2, where it can be placed. So there 2 can be placed as a hidden single in the block 9. Now we will go for another step. Now in the same way, block 9, where 7 can be placed. So it is a hidden single. It can be placed in that position. Now in you examine column 4. In the column 4, you see digit 4, where it can be placed. Digit 4 can only be placed in the one position, that is in the middle of the column. You see, that is why 4 is placed there. Okay. Now we will move further. Now examine 8, number digit 8. So there is a naked single for digit 8. So we can easily solve for digit 8. In the same way, block 5. Examine block 5. In the block 5, where digit 8 can be placed. It is a hidden single. That is the only position where 8 can be placed. Now we will move for next step, that is examine column 6. In the column 6, 5, digit 5, where it can be placed. It can only be placed in the first block of the column. So digit 5 can be placed there. So that is the solution. Now we'll go for next step. Now see, this is a pointing pair. It is highlighted in the two colors. So as you can see, two colors. Search for digit 9. Digit 9 in that block, it is only occupied in that column. So remaining 9s in that column can be removed. So this is a pointing pair technique. So 9 is removed from that column, except in the first block. Now we will go for next step. In the same way, observe pointing pair for the third block and the 8th column. So if you see, for number 8, it is only placed in the second column of the block 3. So remaining 8s can be removed from the rest of the column. So that is a pointing pair technique. Now we will go for next step. Now you see the columns and rows of both colors. So if you see columns and rows, you will find an X-wing for digit 7. For digit 7, you find an X-wing highlighted in yellow color. You see column 2 and column 4. That is an X-wing with finned X-wing is there. That is for block 5, there is additional 7. So this is called as finned X-wing. So only one part of the 7 can be removed. That is in the block 5. So 7 can be removed in the block 5. So this is known as finned X-wing technique. Now examine digit 1. You find a naked single for digit 1. So that is the position of digit 1. Now we'll go for next step. Now examine block 6. In the block 6, there are naked single and also hidden single for digit 1. So one can be placed in that block. Now we will go for another step. Now examine block 5. There is a naked single 5. So 5 can be placed. Or it is also known as full house technique. Now we will see another step. Now examine block 5. In the block 5, where digit 5 can be placed, it is also a hidden single. So digit 5 can only be placed in that position. Now we will go for next step. Now you see this is again a pointing pair technique with two colors. So for digit 1, it is a pointing pair technique for block 3 and row 2. So 1 can be removed in the rest of the places in the row 2. So now we will go for next step. Now again you see there is a pointing pair technique for block 9 and row 7. So you can see number 5. Number 5 can be removed in the rest of the row. So now we will go for next step. Now this is a X-swing for number 7. So number 7 can be removed in the rest of the rows. See, number 7 X-wing is formed in the corresponding columns C2 and C4, C5. So rows 1 and 4 are the places where 7 can be removed. Now we'll go for next step. Now this is again a X-wing where 3 is highlighted. Okay, for number 3, again this is a finned X-wing, as we see a fin in the 7th block. So 3 can be removed in the block 7. So this is a finned X-wing technique. Now we'll see next step. You see there is again a X-wing technique formed. For number 9. How? Again this is a finned X-wing for block 7. So block 7, 9 can be removed in the corresponding row. Now we'll see for another technique. Now again this is a X-wing for digit 3. So digit 3 X-wing is formed. So in the rest for rows 2 and 6, that is also finned X-wing. So in the first block corresponding to the fin, only 1 3 is there, that is removed. Now we will go for next step. Now you see this is a swordfish technique. As this is a swordfish technique, we'll have to cover 3 rows and 3 columns. Okay, these are the 3 rows and 3 columns. In the columns, they form swordfish triplets in the columns C2, C5, and C8. So the corresponding lines where they can be removed for the particular rows of R4, R7, and R9. So in that way, for the block 7, 9 is removed. This is also a finned swordfish. This technique is finned swordfish. Okay. Now we'll go for next step. Now this is an XY wing. This XY wing formed for 3 cells, 4, 3, and 9. So in that, if an XY wing is formed, correspondingly these cells have the impact. Now number 3 can be eliminated for the corresponding rows. Once you go through XY wing, you will easily understand. So now we will see a forcing chain, how they are formed. For example, here if we place 3 in that cell, okay, if you place 3 in that cell and correspondingly this 3 is removed, as there are only 2 3s in that row. So if that 3 is removed, this 3 can be, this is a 3 that has to be inserted in this cell for C4, and R6. And if that 3 is inserted, correspondingly for the block 5, again 3 is removed. If this 3 is removed for the R5, you can see this 3 has to be there. That is for the block 4 and row 5. This 3 has to be there. But this is a contradiction where upper also there has to be 3 and lower also there is 3. So both are taken 3 values, which is not possible. So now we can state that here 3 is not the solution. So we can remove 3. So in that way, forcing chains are implemented. Now we see again a X-wing for digit 3. So like that 3 is removed for the X-wing for the corresponding column. Now here again there is a forcing chain formed. So if in this forcing chain, here you can see if 4 is, for example, 4 is assumed in that position. Okay, in that, as 4 is, it is assumed in that cell. If 4 is the solution, then correspondingly you see the brown colors force has to be removed. The brown color force has to be removed, and the green colors has to be inserted numbers. So as you can see, 4 in the column 8, there is a contradiction as there are two fours formed. So which is not possible. So that is why 4 is not the solution in the column 8. So we can remove 4 from the third block. So like this, forcing chains are implemented. So in this puzzle, forcing chain are implemented in this way. So we have seen many of the techniques: swordfish, X-wing, pointing pair, forcing chain, hidden singles, naked singles. So this is the way of solving these techniques. And for today, we will stop here, as we have gone through many of the techniques in this puzzle. We will see in the next session a nice Sudoku puzzle, again with a solving of techniques, how to solve the puzzle. Till then, bye. Thank you.